Hello, guys. It's Two Latin Brothers podcast, also known as T.L.B.P. I'm Victor.
And I'm Adrian. And you introed improperly.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
You got to do the whole cue the intro thing.
Nah, I'm just going to skip it. Nah, I'm just kidding. Cue the intro. Hello, guys. It's Two Latin Brothers podcast, also known as T.L.B.P. I'm Victor.
This feels like deja vu.
I know, right? It's crazy.
I feel like this just happened.
What do you mean?
It just happened.
No, it didn't. It just happened.
It just happened like a couple of seconds ago.
Cue the intro.
No, don't.
You're in a loop now. You're stuck.
I don't feel okay when you... Okay, look. Every time you pull something like this,
Yeah.
I feel... What?
Yeah?
I feel that we get stuck in this loop, and I'd like that to end.
Cue the intro.
No. Dang it. It just played again.
No, honestly, you can't be doing that.
I just edited it in every time you said it.
Oh my god.
We have an episode where you cue it in like 3 times and I just keep playing.
We should just have an episode where it's just the intro song and
No, and it's literally, I think we called the episode Cue the Intro.
Really?
Yeah, like I legit think that's what we called. I don't remember
any recall at all.
Someone let me know. I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's been too long. I think I should preface that again we're using another recording setup.
Yeah, we are using a different recording setup.
Every week we're trying to,
if
guys,
this is broken,
No,
it's all our fault.
Look, I am trying to push the quality of the podcast.
Yeah.
And every week for the past couple of weeks, we have been trying. I mean, not that I specifically, but we have been using different recording methods in hopes of raising the quality for our listeners.
Yes.
Not that, we're pushing boundaries with like technology and innovation and and audio recording.
We're now
software.
officially pushing the boundaries of science.
No, I mean, we're just trying new methods and different perspectives and different ways of doing it because
life.
No, because quite honestly, doing the podcast is our hobby. And
who said that?
It's not our hobby.
No, this is my life. No, I'm just
okay, whoa. You're not doing enough work for this to be your life.
Yeah, I know.
No, I just think that the more we push with quality, we can. Not that to say that it's not quality. It's just
we don't have quality.
Yeah, we do. It's just
Are you telling me I don't have quality?
It's not that you don't have quality. It's the fact that I'm trying to bring more quality to an already quality pod. Like, I'm trying to make the same level of quality as like a well-renowned podcast without using all the technology and equipment that popular podcasts use. Like, I'm not dropping $2,000 on a microphone to record people. I'm doing it.
I'm like, do that?
I'm doing this on a budget and I'm making it sound like it's professionally done, professionally edited. Like that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm striving for.
Professional.
Yeah. And people are always like, yo, man, what's the microphone you use? Yo, man,
you're just
why you sound so crisp?
The dumpster like 2
Yo,
weeks ago.
man, why not? People are always asking me that. They're like, yo, why you sound so crisp? Why does it sound like you pro? Like, why does it sound like you in a studio recording? And it has nothing to do with the fact that we're in a studio space. It has not, like, we're literally in a room. There's nothing on the walls. There's a lot of, like, all of this stuff that makes it sound so good is all done in post. Like,
it's like nothing, movie magic but for audio.
Like, there's literally nothing that we are doing that can't be replicated. Like, I feel like if
Don't
someone
say that. What a way to sell yourself.
no,
There's
it's- no.
nothing here we're doing that no one else can replicate.
it could be replicated with way better equipment.
Oh yeah.
Like if I had an audio deck and like proper micro, like not USB microphone and like actual audio jacks, I could filter out all the breathing and all that with like an ADA, and like there's so many ways to improve this without having to ever lift a finger. But all that is like $5,000 per setup.
Yeah. That's why we ask you guys to support and help fund things. Because people are just like, oh, once you have everything, it's like costs you nothing. No, it costs time. I need to break even somehow, like some way.
Man, not to say that I'm ungrateful. I'm grateful to our listeners.
Yeah.
To our fans, our audience, the people who listen to us every week.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are. I don't know where you came from. I just know.
I don't know who you are.
No, this isn't.
No,
I'm not trying to copyright
No copyright. Because I ain't got that kind of voice. All credit goes to Liam, my G.
Oh, okay. Well, what was I saying?
Yeah.
No, I was just saying how I find it interesting that like we even have an audience. Like we were talking about this the other day. I'm like, if we can get the audience to grow even like 25%, I'm happy.
That's not enough.
But that's a realistic goal.
I strive for 1,000,000%.
Dude, you want 1 million like plays and downloads? That's crazy.
Nah,
I can't.
I know.
I can't. Like one of the things I've noticed.
It takes time.
What?
It takes time. It takes effort.
Yeah. Like, well, most people who do a pod, like we did this backwards. Most people like start like YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah, and then
they do podcasts.
Yeah, we're starting
like
with
podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
And just staying there.
Yeah.
Which is, I think there's someone outside talking, and I don't know how.
Because we're from the ghetto.
No, it's because we have the window open and our neighbors are loud.
Yep, I knew it. Someone got shot out.
No. Literally, a siren just went off. You can't hear it because I edited that out.
That's how professional we are.
No, I literally dragged and hit delete.
That's how professional we are.
I mean, like, it's not that hard. Like,
don't look, you're not selling us today. You're throwing us under the bus.
Okay, look, mind you, it takes a lot. Like, it took me 3 years to make a sound like this.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't happen overnight. And also, like, trying to entertain with only audio
is not easy.
It's so hard. Like, the other day, I was showing you a video or like an episode with, like, the retention.
Yes.
And, like, 95% of the audience who listened to that episode made it 45 minutes into the episode before they left.
Because it's just that way.
And it was, like, 48 minutes long. I'm like, they left at the end when you wrap up.
Yeah. Because
like, they stayed for the whole thing and then just left for you to wrap up.
Yeah, because, like, that's your cue.
Like, I mean, no, but I think it's interesting that we're able to hold that kind of retention when we're not racking in, like, the crazy numbers. Imagine when we have, like, crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Like, when the numbers are, like when we reach, like, that 10,000 mark, I'd say it's crazy numbers. Yeah. We're at the 1,000 mark right now, but once we hit, like, that 10,000 mark, it'll be crazy because, like, the retention will probably be, like, 5 seconds. Like, imagine that. There'll be, like, 3% of the audience. It's just 5 seconds of, like, retention.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Like, they clicked on it by accident. Like, it auto-queued in their Spotify.
If you're new to us and you're hearing us for the first time, welcome. This is... I don't even know what to tell you this is. This is a day-by-day comedy where I come and I vent about my stupid...
Look, a lot of people don't understand. It's hard to do this.
Yeah.
Like, I had to learn how to edit.
In general, like, honestly, props to all the influencers and YouTubers because, like, it's not actually as easy as they make it look.
No, of course. And you know when they talk about burnout, man? Like, we're in college. Well, I think I carry a heavier course load than you.
Yeah, you do.
I carry a heavier course load than you. And yet somehow I find the time to edit this.
Yeah.
And partake in said event every day.
Yeah.
Like, literally, after this, I'm going to go study for a math test tomorrow. Like, and to be honest with you, I'm not even sure if I know how to do what's going to be on that math test properly. But here I am recording this podcast for y'all.
I've been like setting up like a checklist all day on my phone.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'm like I literally got out of class, record.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I got something to eat though. I got something to eat because I was hungry. You know, like
that makes sense.
But then
you got a snack at least. You know.
Well, no, because like the class starts like right before like lunch, like an hour after lunchtime at 1. Like it starts at 2.
Yeah.
And, most people eat lunch around like noon, 1 o'clock.
Are you sure?
I didn't eat lunch today because I had a late breakfast. So then I went straight into class. And then I get out and I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. Need to get something to eat. Go get something to eat. Come back down. Set up. Record. Here we are.
Okay.
That's like when people like, especially in class, because like people can see like the microphone I use when I'm in class.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them is, I mean, I've said this before, how like I think they think I'm a YouTuber, but like that's clearly not the case. But I think it's interesting how like when people go, so yo, when you free? I'm like, are you kidding? I'm like busy. I'm busy. I got stuff to do.
I got a life.
I always got stuff going on. And the problem is like when I tell them, hey, look, my life is literally content. Like I'm not a vlogger, but I need stuff to happen in my life. Otherwise, this becomes stale, repetitive, boring. Like, I need something to happen every other day or something. One interesting thing has to happen.
I mean, I had an interesting event just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I went to the dentist.
Okay.
And that was it. I know.
What a great story. Something to look.
I got excited all about it too.
Well, okay, look. I think.
Got clean teeth now. Polished up. Real nice. Real sweet.
Okay, look. I'm not here to tell you that the dentist isn't painful, because it is.
Yeah. I feel like you're cueing me for something, but I don't want to say it.
That's not what I'm cueing you for.
Okay.
I want to address that. Like there are people who like, they're like, I'd rather die than go to the dentist. Like I've met people like that.
My dentist told me like a story. She was just like, I've had people like tell me I'm not gonna floss because I'm afraid of blood.
Say what now? So like they have like a phobia.
Yeah, they have a phobia of blood, so they don't floss because there's a chance that you bleed.
So these are the people who like they get a cut, they see their blood and pass out.
Yeah,
they got like a paper cut.
Man, just like a little drop.
Like we shouldn't be making fun of that. Scraped his finger on like a gravelly road or something.
Imagine you're like one of the last few people alive.
No, you know what the
and they tell you we're sending you to go save some people, and you're just like, oh nah, man. No, if I see one piece, like one drop of blood, I'm out.
No, people who are diabetic must have it really hard if you have that phobia, because like you got to be pricking yourself. Like if you have that thing to check your blood level.
I mean, like you gotta, but there's different ways of like pricking yourself now.
Yeah, I know, but that's the most common one I've seen, where like they have like this little box and they like just like prick themselves and then like put their thumb on the thing.
No, you know what I've never understood?
Yeah.
Like how in movies and TV shows, like when somebody makes like a blood pact, they grab the knife and they slit their hand. Yeah. And I'm just like, you have like no emotions. Like,
you don't feel anything?
You don't feel any. If I gave you a knife right now and told you to make a blood pact with me, would you cut yourself?
Bro, I don't know what your blood's been. I don't know what it's got.
Exactly okay, look. Listen, come close.
I'm already close.
Okay, listen. If you're willing to cut yourself, just die.
I mean, a blood pact isn't the fact that they're making a pact. It's the way that they go about doing it. They're like, I'm willing to put the only commodity that my body produces, and that's blood.
Literally,
I'm putting that on the line.
Pee in the same bowl. Like, if you want to make a pact, just pee in the same bowl. If you really want it to be like thing coming out of your body,
that's where pee comes from.
From what?
From your blood.
Yes and no.
Bro, that's where it comes from.
Yes and no.
Well, because it comes from like, it's all the impurities in the blood because your kidneys clean it, and that's
the impurities in general.
I mean, I know, but most of it comes from your blood,
and then the ammonia just
I know, but most of it comes from your blood.
Okay.
So technically, if you're a vampire, think about this now.
Okay, look, you're just saying everybody drinks pee because when you were a kid and you cut yourself, what's your first instinct?
Put it in your mouth.
Exactly.
Why is that a human instinct?
It's because, and here's a fun little fact. It's because the saliva in our mouths is already a form of acid. So technically we're cleaning up our wound.
That's why it burns when you lick a wound.
I mean, it doesn't burn, but like
sometimes it burns and sometimes it doesn't.
I mean, how acidic is your saliva?
I mean,
why are we talking about this?
If I just had some orange juice prior to this cut and I lick my wound, it hurts.
Okay,
but if I haven't had orange juice, it feels fine.
How did you just like inflict pain while drinking orange juice?
Because of the acid in the orange juice and like the residue.
No, you don't understand. If you're injured, why are you drinking orange juice?
No, I mean before. Like imagine.
So like you finished a cup of orange juice, you slipped and fell and impaled yourself.
No.
In your hand, and you're like, I gotta like
okay,
that.
Look, so picture this. I'm drinking orange juice in a glass cup.
Yeah.
I drop the cup.
Yeah.
I bend over to pick up the glass.
Okay.
I chip my finger. I stick my finger in my thumb.
You got glass all over your tongue. You're cutting your tongue.
No. If I like just scrape my finger,
okay,
no glass,
just like a minor scrape.
That's gonna burn because I literally just had a sip of orange juice, residue still in my mouth, and it happened like 3 seconds prior.
I mean, it's already probably diluted by the time it gets to your mouth.
I mean, ultimately, that could be the case, but we never know.
Okay, listen, I don't need this.
Look, I'm just trying to give you a hypothetical.
Also, just to let you guys know, there's no such thing as the 5-second rule. It touches the floor, and it's not like all the bacteria is like, I'm gonna wait 5 seconds to climb on this thing. No, it's instant.
So how long does
it?
So does that mean I'm covered in bacteria because I'm always touching the floor?
Yes, you have.
So you mean the bacteria that's on the floor could be found on my face?
Probably. If you even like so much as sat on the floor and then wiped away everything off you, and then just like scratched your face, it's on your face now.
Okay, no, but could they climb up me?
I don't know. I don't follow the movement of bacteria.
Well, you're the one who brought this up because now, like, all I see is like, like when ants in a colony are like on the mountain.
We're not helping the germaphobes.
Cover it, like they just cover it completely. Is it like that?
We're not. Wait, what?
Okay, so say there's an ant colony and there's like an ant hill.
Okay,
and you put fruit on top and they just cover it, and all you see is the ants on top. Is it like that, or they swarm over it?
It's an outdoor surface bacteria. So, and then I don't actually know if it's capable of moving by itself. It probably moves when you move it.
Okay, well, I thought I should,
unless it's like some kind of like, not unless it's like an infection.
Okay, look,
then it can start to spread.
Well, I'm not gonna
everywhere.
Jump. I'm not gonna jump. I'm not gonna jump
everywhere, and I mean. Like, you know where you go use the bathroom? Everywhere.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
You should.
I mean, no, I'm not gonna jump into this.
Just cut yourself, put your thumb in.
Bro, this topic just takes you to a scary place, and I don't like it.
You don't like this topic?
Very unsettled.
You don't like me talking about people pissing in a same bowl and people doing blood packs and and bacteria
people who
growing
do that
up somebody's
need to get some excitement in their life. They're living they think they're living on the edge, but they're really living in obscurity.
I don't know. Like, I mean, you do you.
I mean, I'ma do me, and you do whatever it is makes you happy.
Exactly.
I think that we've kind of lost that as a people.
What do you mean?
Like, we forgot how to be happy. Like, somewhere along the line, actually, I was talking about this with somebody recently, how, like, to a certain degree, people who are greedy has pushed innovation and, like, industry.
Okay.
Like, wanting more has actually made, like, a better impact in society as a whole. Like, think about the guy who invented the light bulb. 1,000 tries. Or so the story goes, right? I mean, that's the story. It's 1,000 tries, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into the reality of whether or not that was real or not. That's not what I'm here to discuss.
Yeah.
I'm just here to say that hypothetically there was a story.
There was that
the guy tried 1,000 times, right? So.
And what was his name?
Thomas something.
Thomas something. Did you just forget his last name?
Thomas Edison?
It wasn't actually him. He stole the idea.
Okay, again, I know. So,
fun fact.
I'm not here to
Google search this, people. Google search this. Put pause and come back.
Look, when I was in grade 4, I learned about this.
Yeah, and they lied to you.
Okay, well, I'm not going to get into that. Anyway, so this guy, the story goes, he tried 1,000 times. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Imagine how greedy he must have been. Like, I'm gonna cash in. Like at the 400 try, he must have been like, "This is stupid. I'm done."
How do you? Okay, look. What if he wasn't thinking about the money?
He just wanted to make light.
No. What if he was thinking of how this could help people?
What if he just had a phobia of the darkness? Like, what if he's scared of the dark?
Grab a match, my guy. Grab a candlestick.
No, but like,
light it.
Look, like he had to have the candlestick really close. And he's like, that's not enough light to light up the room. So I got to have like 5 candlesticks, one next to me, one in each corner of the room.
I mean, like,
and then you end up with this problem where at one point they'll shut off. And if I got to get up to go to the washroom and the candles are I'm in the dark. Like, that's terrifying.
Okay, look, he wasn't just thinking of like, man, I gotta go like take a piss, like
Actually, you know what?
night.
Many
I mean, like
inventions.
the
No,
applications.
most inventions weren't invented to help people. They just happened. Like 95, I'd say about 95% of them weren't for anything. They were like selfish. It's like color TV. Color TV happened because some rich guy got annoyed that he couldn't distinguish
What?
like the teams between each other.
Okay.
We're gonna take a short break, a quick intermission.
I don't know why, but okay. Take us.
All right. And we're back.
We're back.
I found the problem at hand.
Yeah, he was hearing a buzzing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The computer broke. I don't know.
I don't know. What
Like,
were you
I literally
talking
all I
about?
did was unplug the microphone and plug it back in.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Anyway, welcome back.
Welcome back again.
I mean, nothing's happened.
Hopefully
since we
you
left.
stretched or put pause when we said
I don't remember what it was that I was saying before because it's been a minute.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Honestly, we should have played back before starting.
Well, I guess we'll never know.
You're literally asking the person with short-term memory.
Should I stop this and go back?
No.
Okay.
Let's just swing it.
Let's just swing it.
I mean, we were.
Oh no, we were
already-
talking about greed and innovation.
greed and innovation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like, remember how I was saying how...
Yes, they remember.
Well, I'm talking to you.
Okay, I remember.
Okay, great. So,
I think. Okay, go.
ultimately, like for example, computers.
Yeah.
Computers only got better because we wanted to move more numbers, more power,
Yeah.
more calculations. And it wasn't to like be like, oh, we can do it. It's more like I can make more money if I do this and I can charge more for it.
Yeah.
Same thing with cell phones.
Yeah.
It's really cool. Like the folding phones, that's epic.
That's not even a necessity. That's just because we felt like it.
Yeah, it just looks cool. And we can charge thousands of dollars for it.
Yeah.
That's
you want
really,
a tablet? You got a tablet.
Well, yeah, but
you want a
that's-
phone
That's really
that looks like a Game Boy? We got you.
Well, that's really what it is, ultimately. Like, people just... Also, like, you got that one friend who showed up with this folding phone. He's like, yo, look at this.
What if nobody has that friend?
Well, then that sucks. You hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Well, I guess I'm hanging out with the wrong crowd. I don't know anybody who owns one of those. Actually, I think I do.
I have a friend who got one.
I see. Is that why you're saying this?
No, I just...
You just felt like it?
No, I just
Just
like,
wanted to share?
No. He knows who he is. He's probably going to text me after years.
Fun times.
No,
Anyways.
even if he doesn't.
Anyways,
like,
back
it's not
to
the
greed.
point. Yeah, okay.
I
so-
have lots. Just joking.
I mean...
No.
No, but I feel that that's what's pushed the industry.
Yeah.
Money. Just money. Wanting more. And
Do
it's
you
like...
want more?
What?
Would you like some more?
I mean, I wouldn't mind more, but I'm not here to tell you,
Give me all
hey,
your
it's
money.
bad. No, like, ultimately, like, even for ourselves, like, individualistic greed is...
Yeah.
Like, it's... Why do you go to school?
To learn
About what?
everything.
Well, no, you go to school so you can get a good job and you can make more money. That's it.
No.
I mean, sometimes it's
Some
like,
people do it to find purpose in their life.
some people open up the book and go, that's what I'm taking. Like, they just scroll through it at random.
True story.
I know 3 people who did that when I was in high school.
True story.
And I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all are gambling your lives like this.
They just I mean, if you
Yo,
have the
what-
grades and you can do anything, just literally open the
no.
book and pick something.
Okay, look, no, honestly, this one guy, he's like, this is what I'm going into. 4 other people took the same thing he was taking. This one guy, though, he went into like animation or something like that. I can't remember. Or like graphic design. I can't remember. And
He did
I think he did the same thing. Like, he just picked at random. And now he works at like some graphic design studio. So that actually worked out. And I'm starting to think I messed up. That
You
was
should
the
have just opened the book and been like gunsmithing. That's for me.
I mean, I live in Canada, so I would have been kind of,
I mean, you can always work at a gun range. You can also work at
Yeah. I'm not saying there aren't jobs.
You can also work in I know what's it called. You could also work for the military. You could also be a hunter, I guess.
That seems like a lot of work.
I mean, just raise it.
I mean, like, you remember those movies where like I'm a hunter and then the guy walks around touching the floor every couple of minutes?
Yeah, that's not how it is.
I know, but I love that that's what they do in movies.
They're just and like I love when they go and they pick up dirt and put it in their mouth.
or they pick it up and smell it. Like,
Okay, that depending on what it is, it makes sense.
I mean, like, what do you hunt it? A skunk? Like, there's residue? Like, how would...
sure.
I mean, bears probably have a distinctive
I mean, if
smell.
there's blood on the floor.
No, they just pick up, like, there's a footprint. They
Okay,
pick
yeah,
it
I
up
know.
and they
they
smell it.
and then they taste it, and I'm like, okay.
What was the purpose of that?
Okay, you just probably tasted a wet dog from when I was walking my dog.
No, it's one of those things in movies, or like they find a trail of like something being dragged.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Okay, but like there's some, like, you have to be very intuitive. If you're really doing that, like you're intuitive as, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you saw a broken branch and you're just like, that was a kidnapping, I'd be impressed. I'd be thoroughly impressed. I'm like, what is this foresight you have? Show me. Teach me good.
Teach me your ways.
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean.
No, but I think like one of the things, I mean, because you and me have been, like, we've been in the woods.
Yeah.
And
a bit too much.
I mean, it's Canada.
I mean, it's Canada. You're probably not going to get like, you know.
You can be literally anywhere and probably drive 15 minutes in any direction in any city and find like bush.
Probably, yeah.
Like ultimately, I don't think it's too hard to find a lot of trees.
Mm-hmm.
It's Canada.
It is Canada. I mean, according to Justin Trudeau, not Alberta isn't really a part of
Okay,
Canada.
whoa, I'm not. That's a low blow.
I don't actually know
if you're from Alberta,
edited.
I'm sorry he excluded you. I always include you guys. Whenever I start with you, I go in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
And you guys are first every time, just so you know. Then British Columbia.
I forget Ontario.
You're from here.
I know. It's not tough because I'm like counting everything around and I'm like, I forget to initially count ours.
Okay, look. No, what was I? No, so we're in the woods a lot.
Yeah, and like we've gotten good at like seeing things
in the thick of it. I don't know what it is, but like
the longer you spend it,
the longer you're in it, your vision, like your peripheral, like starts to expand for some reason.
You get a temporary fisheye.
Yeah, like it's really odd the longer you're in there.
Yeah, because I remember the first few times we'd go. Now my eyes just like instinctively do it when we go there.
Yeah.
Because like your pupil widens to get you more like visual range. So that way, like if there's something like form of danger in the side, your eye picks it up and tell. Yeah. It's like a safety.
And we're back again.
Yeah, we took a little short break. Anyways,
it's been like 30 minutes actually.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, I was saying how it's just a safety net for like in case there's like any predator out there waiting to catch you. You know what I mean?
I get that, but it feels, I think it has to do with the lines.
Survival instinct.
Yeah, but I also think it has to do with like
the fact that there's more information for your brain to pick up also well.
Yeah, but I think it has to do with the way the trees are, you know, because like they're like all up straight and like from a distance, it's just a bunch of like straight lines going up.
Again, that's just like your depth and your eye widens.
Yeah.
It's because like you're not staring at the end of a hall consistently all the time. Because if you look in between trees, it's like looking down a hall all the time. So your depth perception gets boosted.
Well, you know, like how when you look down a hall, it like the wall looks small.
Yeah.
Like at the end of the hall.
Yeah,
if you can see the end of the hall.
Yeah.
It looks small. But then when you like get up to it, it's like normal size.
Yes.
That's like the effect that you get without having
basically what you get once you get out of like a forest and stuff is basically like you can see. I don't want to say like you can see everything, but like your peripheral vision's widened. Your depth perception is more clear. Basically, your eyes get better than they used to be, which is weird.
Right.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that.
Okay, look. Yeah. You said you would start bringing topics to the table.
Yeah, I forgot to bring a topic. Anyways, so I was supposed to bring a topic, but I haven't been able to pick a topic. But technically, you brought a topic. Greed.
I mean, yeah, more or less. Well, no, I was just saying, like, because I was talking about this with somebody earlier, because so we're doing like this ethical assignment thing where we have to talk about, we have to pick like you're falling asleep.
No, I'm not.
We're talking about AI.
Okay.
And if we should push AI like to its furthest potential.
Yeah.
And someone brought up that at one point AI would govern humans.
Probably.
Like it'd become like the government. But I was saying like if the main directive of the AI is to preserve life, no innovation would be done because it'd all be done for sustainability.
Yeah.
But
I mean like
the
whole concept of AI is to create an artificial intelligence, right?
Well, yeah, but that's not what I mean.
There's the way we now think of using AI is very different from when we had it before. Because what we were thinking initially was just like, oh, we can have this artificial intelligence like to converse with or like have it run this program for us, right? Now we're thinking like we're gonna utilize this as like to run things, not programs.
Well, like the example that I brought up was like, for example, say you work for NASA,
Okay,
right? And there's hundreds of millions of calculations that have to be done for a rocket to take off.
Yeah,
Like the temperature has to be optimal, the barometric pressure, like even the oxygen in the air, you know, all of these things have to be taken into account. Even the rotation of the Earth, like all of this stuff.
Yeah, rotation, propulsion,
right? All of this,
like all that stuff.
So all of these numbers need to be crunched. Obviously, they
also
have,
like the.
Let me finish. Yeah. Also, they have like formulas and all this stuff now.
Yeah.
But I feel like at one point that'll just be all automated, like by an AI. Like an AI will be like, "Today's the day, my man.
Yeah,
gonna shoot you into space."
Yeah.
You know,
basically what we want, we're not really striving for an AI that is like us anymore. We're striving for an AI like Jarvis.
I think it depends. I think it depends who you talk to. Because like some people may want that, like an AI just like us. But
I mean, the only time
the only issue we run into is the amount of processing power.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about.
No, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like we got into like rationalization. Mm-hmm. Humans can rational. Like that's a brain function that we have. That's what I was trying to get at. And how do you rationalize? Like how do you teach computers to rationalize? Mm-hmm. Right? Like say we're in a car. This is an example somebody gave. Mm-hmm. Say you're in a car, okay?
Yeah.
And the AI is driving the car.
Okay.
Right. There's a car coming right at you. There's a baby in the passenger seat. Okay. For whatever reason, there's a baby in the passenger seat.
Okay.
Which way does the car swerve?
What do you mean? Like which car?
Like say there's a car coming straight at you.
Okay.
Does the car swerve to the left or to the right? Because if it swerves to the right, it hits you. If it swerves to the left, it hits the baby.
Well, the car would have to do a calculation. Right.
So
based on positioning, and it could figure out
So I joked that the car would just like flip over and then hit the back bumper. Yeah. Like it would swerve like a full 180. But ultimately, that's not likely to happen because it's like
it's a split second calculation.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
So, but that was, or like, does he drive off road? Like, what does he do? Right. Mm-hmm. But.
And then there's also but
you have to be, but someone has to be the one to teach the AI to do this to begin with.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
also, who are we to decide fate?
How do you rationalize
saving
the baby or save the adult? Right. Save the parent or save the kid who was just born. Right.
Yeah.
Like that's.
And if you eliminate the parent, now there's no one to raise.
Right. Like,
unless there's like obviously other families.
Like
but there's always
you get into that like, ooh, what do we do about that? Right.
Yeah.
And that's the ethics behind. But getting back to the greed thing,
I mean, you could always just create a system that's a roll of the dice,
which is dangerous.
Yeah,
because it's like companies do this all the time. Where
I mean, roll of the dice in an instance of which the cars, there's like the car knows it's an imminent crash. Okay, but right before the cars gets hit, the decision that's made,
it's like rolling a dice.
It's rolling a dice to pick which one is saved.
Okay, look, so we talked about something.
Or don't even make it that. You could even make it like it's a pressure plate in the car.
Okay, yeah, but
measuring mass.
Well, that's
and then measuring which side.
How does it know it's not luggage in the passenger seat instead of a baby?
That's a good question.
Right.
You could also measure thermal readings.
Yeah. Or we just put a camera in the car.
That too.
Right. So this is the thing, right? Like you get into the like semantics of it and all that. Yeah. But going back to the greed, which I'm trying to get back to, is that you run into the issue that humans are the ones who do that, right?
Who are rationalizing.
We're rationalizing, and we're like, this is the problem.
Also,
let's solve it like this. What's stopping the AI from being like, there's too many humans on the planet. Let's just like eliminate 100 of them.
Again, that's why I was just saying we want more of an AI like a J.A.R.V.I.S.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Yes.
That's not likely to happen. That's actually completely illogical because if the AI starts governing humans, right, that's what's going to end up happening. Like, no, I know, but companies do this all the time. Leo, listen, companies do this all the time. They'll release a product and say it's a dangerous product, regardless of what, like it could be a liquid, a cleaning fluid, even.
Yeah.
Say that they did testing and they found out like 1 out of every 1,000 people got sick using the product.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to be like, okay, release the product. If they get together and sue us, we'll just like give them like 100 million. But by then, like it'll be like a quarter of a penny to us because we've already like net revenue and all. And this happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Like, right? Like humans are making these kinds of decisions left and right. And they don't even bat an eye. Well, they're sociopaths, right?
Yeah.
But for someone to have coded this into an AI is a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Because now it's basically one guy running the show, unless you can teach it to rationalize. Yeah. If the AI can learn to rationalize, half of these things get solved. Also, if the AI is governing us and its main default directive is to save life, think about like abortion laws.
Yeah.
Right? Those would basically go out the window.
Yeah.
Or like, and to preserve life, the whole LGBTQ movement would just be gone because you're not procreating anymore. So now we need to force that.
It doesn't benefit human society.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the AI would like force all these things, but you're like,
these are all things that people would retaliate against.
Exactly. Like there would be riots. Like if overnight someone said, you can't do this, you can't do that. Like, especially our society.
It'd be
like,
a dictatorship.
Yeah. Canadian
not
society,
a govern.
Yeah, Canadian society as a whole, because we're very socialist and we tackle
very liberal.
Yeah, very liberal. It would, I mean, like we're not Swedish, but we're
I know
pretty liberal. But like, imagine that, like overnight. Also, recently we've gone into like legalizing.
No, but like the point that you didn't get what I meant by we want an AI like Jarvis,
an assistant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like you're talking like beyond what I was.
Oh yeah. And that's what I'm trying to tell. Okay. That's what people are working towards.
Yeah.
Like we talk about machine learning all the time.
Yeah.
Like especially Google. Google loves throwing that word around. When they do like a press conference, no, our machine learning and our photography does this. You know, it's like okay, great. But like some of what's crazy to me is that there was this moment in like technology when like we all bought like cameras and we had our cell phone and then suddenly like there was like a 2-3 year gap where everyone was walking around like a DSLR in their pocket.
Yeah. See, but like now again, like as I was saying, now we're not focused to create an AI with like free will. We're trying to create AIs with directives.
You don't know that though.
What do you mean?
Like, how do you know there isn't a guy working on this right now?
Okay, but I know, but like I'm saying generally, the way we're leaning towards.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, most people are.
But we're leaning.
But who's to say China isn't?
Okay,
Russia isn't.
Okay,
I bet you even the Japanese are working.
Okay, go for it. But like in reality, if you create a free,
so this is the example somebody else gave, and this is like the best counter to it.
Okay,
he's like, picture this: you start being governed by an AI, right? Yeah. Another country has their own and they get governed by that one, and so on and so forth. So every country slowly adopts having their own AI run their own societies.
Yeah.
Now it's basically like having a politician.
Yeah.
Right? Who speaks for you. So now every other AI keeps the other AIs in check.
Yeah.
Right? So now it's not a battle of like, I'm going to go kill you. It's more like the AI has to negotiate with another AI for that trade deal to happen.
Yeah.
Right. Like I can give you this if you like, it becomes having a normal governing body now, right? As opposed to like one singular AI that controls the whole world.
Yeah.
That would be the ideal.
Yeah.
Right.
But see, like, here's the other thing. Like, now going into this whole scenario of like AIs ruling each individual country, what would matter a lot is who programmed that AI, right? Because you can add your directives, preserve human life. Okay?
Yeah.
That could be one directive, but there can always be a sub-directive, right?
Yeah. Also, who's stopping the AI from like this is the thing, like the code or whatever, right? Who's stopping the AI from doing something bad? Like we see in like every movie
the cyber attack.
Yeah, cyber attack or whatever. Right?
Or it hacked some government.
Yeah. Right. But here's the thing, like it's self-preservation. Like say, okay, like if you do something wrong, we'll delete you. But who's to say the AI didn't already back himself up like 1,000 times? Like what if he's walking around in my pocket?
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue.
If he fits.
I mean, you don't know. I mean, the cloud's pretty big. Anyway, like that's not the point, whether he fits or not.
We'd have to unplug Wi-Fi.
Yeah. And that's dangerous. Like we can't do that in today's society anymore.
No, we can't.
You unplug the Wi-Fi, the bank shuts down.
Yeah.
Stock shuts down. Like the world itself just
would
shuts
stop
down.
spinning. Well, the world would stop. The world would stop spinning.
Yo, communication goes down. People were, when that Facebook and Instagram, WhatsApp shut down like last week.
Yeah,
people were losing it, especially in like countries like India and Central America.
Yeah,
they were having the hardest time communicating because people don't even have like normal cell service.
Yeah,
they just get data and then do everything through WhatsApp,
yeah,
phone calls, texts.
Yeah, they just get a data plan.
Yeah, they don't get like normal like calling and texting.
Yeah.
So like if your main service suddenly just shuts down, like you can't communicate with anybody.
Yeah.
So like that's the biggest issue. And people were complaining because they're like, I run my business through WhatsApp. Like people like I'm like if I'm like a car hauler or like, like a tow truck, people call me through WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy, man. A whole day, people like you didn't have a job essentially for a day, not because you didn't want it, but because the service was down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's nuts. Like that's stuff like that really makes me think. And I'm like, man,
we're hyper reliant.
We've become too dependent of the technology.
Yeah.
Remember the good old days when we had to like write a letter, wait months to hear back?
Yeah.
You weren't part of that.
No, I wrote letters.
I mean, by the time you were born, we were all mass emails.
Yeah, but
and
like I still wrote letters.
I mean,
that didn't stop anything. I remember having to put the postage and everything.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy?
I'm like the last of the few who ever did that, bro.
I don't know. But yeah, stuff like that always catches my interest.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this for like 2 hours. Like, and we spent 30 minutes just talking about the governing body of how an AI would run.
Yeah.
Like, this is a conversation that could go on forever.
Again, we wouldn't be going for an AI exactly like us. Exactly. Because like with anybody who's creating an AI, they're building an AI with a want, right? Well, like I want the AI to be able to do this, right?
Well, what if you're
AI to be able to do that?
Well, what if they're like Data? No, from like Star Trek?
Where they're like a cyber being, or like a, what's it called? A cyborg being?
No. Data's full tech.
No, I know. I forgot. A sentient? No. What is this?
A sentient AI.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. He's just like a human. Name. He can rationalize and like all that.
There's a name for them.
I can't remember. Synthetics.
Yeah, synthetics. There you go. Yeah.
So, that's what they call them in Star Trek. That's not the actual like.
I know, but like I would start using that like right now.
I mean,
I'm coining the term right now.
Okay, so look, so we were talking about greed, right? And then this one guy goes, yeah, because people are greedy. I'm like, I'm waiting for a day where we're all like Star Trek. We all work to better ourselves.
Yeah.
It's also like if all of humanity weren't greedy, all of humanity would fit in a normal studio-sized apartment. Like every human on Earth could have an own studio-sized apartment if we all lived in Texas.
Yeah.
Like think about that. You could have your own studio apartment. Yeah. I could have my own.
The only thing would be like we'd still have to have people in other locations in order for crop.
Yeah,
but that would be it.
Yeah, I know. But think about that. Like all of humanity fits in Texas. Like that's crazy.
I mean, like also like what you could do is like, because of like all the pollution and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Literally like a crazy idea would be get everybody in the same location.
Yeah.
Become eco-friendly.
Yeah.
Create transport through just electricity relying on the sun solely.
Yeah.
And then creating a bunch of AI to farm for us.
Yeah.
And then they just come, ship it over.
Well, yeah, but
we live our lives.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but then the earth is healthier,
it's like a
global
utopia.
Warming just like stops. And it is a utopia.
It's utopian society. But to convince the whole world to move to Texas is kind of a hard bargain.
No, it wouldn't happen. It would never happen.
Of course not.
Because oh man, you're taking away my freedoms.
No, it's more like my sovereignty.
No, I know.
As a country.
I mean, yes. But then again, there'd also be the people who are just like, really, this is all I get to live in? Because there's always, again, the greedy people, the egotistical.
I mean, like, imagine the billionaires, right?
Yeah.
Like, the billionaires would be like, they would lose it. They'd be like, I want a penthouse. Like,
yeah,
I want, like,
give me the top floor.
Exactly.
And it'd be like, sorry, sir, it's just out of draw.
Yeah. Like, no, it'd be like the studio, the penthouse is the same size as everybody else's.
Yeah.
Like, there's no difference.
Like, there's no difference.
They're all the same.
Yeah.
It's a standard issue.
Yeah. It's like the only thing you can't choose is like what you're going to have for dinner, man.
Yeah, man. Like, other than that, like,
I mean, but at that point.
But at that point, I think society would be to better ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, there wouldn't be pay. We'd all have to.
Because there would be no class system, no status.
Yeah, we'd all be equal.
Yeah. And that's something people are fighting for, equality, but you know what? It's really hard to achieve ultimate equality.
Well, like, this is another thing we were talking about. I'm like, think about, like, you know how I said every other country has an AI, right? So, like, picture an AI coded in China. It's communist. Like, an AI coded in the West is liberal.
Yeah.
An AI coded in the Middle East just took away one gender's rights as a whole.
Yeah.
Right. So like, who's to say that if one of these countries was to develop an AI and it took over the world, like our standard of living could change drastically just on culture alone. Also,
I mean,
like,
also what's stopping? Because let's say you have the communist AI, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the liberal AI, right?
Yeah.
And it's a part of their directive
yeah.
of like the liberal one to be liberal.
Yeah.
And now there's this other AI being like, no.
Exactly. Right. So
that's the issue. Now there's conflict.
Yeah.
But yet, let's say every single one of them was to like make sure life was healthy. Okay.
Well, no. Well, here's the other issue too, right? Like certain value, like it's the nature versus nurture, right?
Yeah.
The person who coded this out was deeply affected by his surrounding environment, right? Like say you get someone who's like Jewish, for example. Mm-hmm. Every 7th day, everybody got a rest.
Yeah.
You know, like that's just the directive. Yeah. No one's allowed to work. No one's even allowed to lift a finger on the set. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but
every Shabbat, just
exactly.
Yeah.
But like, and then there's someone Christian every Sunday. Yeah. Every Sunday, everything you be in church, right? Yeah. Same thing for the Muslims. It'd be Friday. I think it's Friday.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's Friday.
I'm sorry for not being knowledgeable.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Friday.
Yeah,
Friday's their day. So, that would be what would happen, right? Mm-hmm. And then like, but this is all based on like your beliefs, your culture, surroundings. Yeah. It's like
you'd have to create. Every politician would have to be like, well, I don't want to say like liberal, but they'd have to be with that mentality because they wouldn't be allowed to shun anybody out.
Exactly. That's how the AI would have.
Besides giving them the directive of like he's a serial killer.
Well, like the thing is, well, right, like it's I also,
and that's also a whole other
well, the
thing,
example is
that
like,
would be
it's like 75% of Latinos are Catholic.
Yeah,
not because they truly believe it. It's just that's the thing.
They were born into it.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the same thing with the Middle East. Like everybody's Islamic, and like everybody knows, like the Jewish people, like that's the whole thing. And like the Chinese, and they're all Buddhists. It's the whole thing. But well, I mean most. I mean it's in the air. It's iffy. It's the whole thing. Anyway, but right. So based on these locations, you can say like, if Mexico to produce an AI, it's probably Catholic.
Yeah.
You know, like, and if
like it believes in a superior being.
Exactly.
Which is weird to say.
Right.
An
but
artificial
like,
being.
I mean, in Europe though, it'd be interesting because Italy's would be probably Catholic because the Vatican is there.
Yeah.
And then like Germany's would be like not.
Yeah.
You know, just like, I'm the god. Yeah. You know, I am, I am.
Yeah, but, because this, like, what's stopping the creation you've made from thinking it's superior when it has access to loads and loads of data to back it up.
Yeah.
Right.
See, that's the problem. That's why we all fear it.
Yeah.
Because if the AI just goes, humans are the problem.
See, because that could.
But this goes back to like an actual.
Just think about Ultron from like of the Avengers.
Right. He did that.
He literally went and did that.
Yeah.
He's just like humans are the issue. All the animals are just doing what they need to do to survive.
Exactly. But here's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like how that saying. It's like we farm the plants.
Yeah.
But reality, the plants need us to survive. So are the plants farming us, or are we farming the plants?
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, it's that equal balance, this like interconnected web where we all rely on each other.
I mean, but technically the animals can keep them alive anyways.
Right. But think about this. There are certain places on Earth that are like, for example, the rainforest in Brazil cleans like 25% of the Earth's CO2 levels. Mm-hmm. Imagine all of humanity disappear.
Yeah.
That's got to be like 50% of the CO2.
Probably, yeah.
Suddenly there's not enough food for the rainforest.
Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Yeah, kind of.
It doesn't become as sustainable anymore.
I guess, yes. I mean, but you also have to like think about, because at one point there had to be a lesser population, right?
I mean, also the rainforest used to be way smaller.
Also, like, there's also like the issue of like the planet also beginning to kill itself.
Right.
Because like, think about it. Forest fire starts.
Yeah.
There's no humans to stop it.
That's a little different though.
Yes and no.
That has to do with global warming. Because if global warming were a thing, that wouldn't be an issue.
Yes and no.
I mean, because naturally occurring forest fires, that's like a natural occurrence. Because like sometimes like, we get drought and then like say lightning strikes, everything catches fire, it spreads, it propagates. Like that's like a natural occurring thing.
That's what I'm talking about.
That happens naturally.
Yeah.
But like lately, all of the forest fires.
I know, but I was going with like a natural occurrence.
Right.
There's a drought. There's lightning strikes, starts a fire, eventually reaches a healthy forest. Now the healthy forest is on fire.
Right.
But since there was no humans to contain the fire, now the planet's basically killing itself, creating even more emissions.
Right.
So in a way, by eliminating humans would also be an issue.
To a certain degree.
I mean, think about it. All the animals, I mean, mainly it's our fault, that are going extinct, right?
We hunted them.
We hunted them. But then there was
we hunted the animal that was its food.
Yeah. Or we hunted the animal that was its food. But then again, there could have always been like a normal extinction where like a certain population of animal doesn't just
like the asteroids.
Yeah.
Like the whole asteroid thing.
Yeah. But there could be like a whole instance where a certain population of animals grows faster and more rapid than a different form of animal, right?
Yeah.
And this specific animal that's going more rapid can eat plants and eat meat.
Right.
Right?
So like, eventually... I think it was in Yellowstone Park. They introduced a pack of wolves into Yellowstone Park. And within a year, even the river changed. Like the way the river ran changed.
Okay.
And the reason for this is that in the wintertime, when the water freezes over, it freezes and the water stops running and all that. But one of the things that happened is that the wolves started hunting specific animals, like the deer and the caribou, all that. But what ended up happening is that they also started hunting the otters, the beavers. Yeah, the beavers are the ones building the dams. But suddenly, 50% of the beavers disappeared. Yeah. Because of the wolves. Yeah. So what happens? The dam isn't as big anymore. The river changed.
Yeah. More flow.
Right. So the current changed. Yeah. And all they did was
there was no beaver throwing more mud on it to keep it intact.
But what happened? All they did was introduce 15 wolves into an environment. Yeah. Right? Which is realistically it's like a crazy thought.
It's a butterfly effect.
Really. Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's quite literally crazy. The whole ecosystem was changed. Yeah. Like in a year. Like a year was all it took. Yeah. So imagine if all of humanity just stopped for a year. Like we kind of saw that with COVID, but not really.
I mean, and we achieved goals with our emissions. Yeah. That we were planning to do over years.
Yeah. All right. We got to wrap up.
All right, guys. That has been the episode. If you haven't heard last week's episode, go check that out. Make sure to leave a like in the make sure to leave a like in a comment, whether it be up, down, left, or right.
If you can like it, or if you can leave it in something in the description.
Yeah. Make sure to share with everybody. Share with the grandma. Share with the rooster. Share with your uncle. Share with.
If you're listening to this on Spotify, there's a new poll feature. Yeah. Answer that if you feel like it.
Yeah, go for it. Anyways, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye.